Hi, my name's Camille and I'm a twin flame, and I am going to talk about my experience today. From my experience of meeting my twin flame and going through all the different stages. We met about 8 months ago and we are in union. We've gone through the stages and we have a physical relationship in real time, in the real world. Overall, I feel like giving just plain practical advice, just personal experience, what I went through, what my twin went through, um, instructional, practical examples at this stage with these two videos. I won't be talking too much about twin flame theory. I think a lot of other people on the web are doing a really good job of that. And I won't be doing it in much depth. I might come back and do other videos on different subjects. In these first two videos, I'll just be explaining my experience. Before it even happened to me, I'd never heard of the term twin flames. When my twin flame and I met, there was a real instant attraction. We really liked each other. And I met him a couple of times and then I realised that I had fallen completely in love with him. And I knew this was a very big love. At this stage, I had not even heard the term twin flames, but I came across it when I was searching on the internet for love at first sight. At the start of our relationship, we met regularly in the 5D world, 5 dimension, in what I think is the dream dimension state. We would travel through time and space and spend many hours together on this place. I remember once flying like a bird, changing into a bird and flying from my house to his house and landing in his backyard, walking into his house and spending time with him there. We met in real life about 7 or 8 months ago, and there has only been 1 or 2 nights that we haven't been together in the 5D realm. I could do videos just on the dream state. It's an amazing place to visit. It's a whole other world. Overall, this experience has just been extremely bonding between the two of us. We have just fallen more and more in love with each other. We would also meet at this special place in the 5D realm where there was a really large area. It was like a clearing in the forest, and there's trees all around it. And we just had this clearing, and we used to meet there and we'd do anything imaginable. We used to have very fierce eye contact at each other, and like we were remembering each other. I remember just having this overwhelming feeling that my whole life was changing, and I had this very strong sensation that I was actually falling in love, physically falling and jumping into this love affair. With the term falling in love was very apt. I also felt like I was holding absolutely nothing back. We spent many hours and days at this place, this spiritual realm, spiritual place that we would go to. We showed off our spiritual selves. We were quite competitive. We were, I'll show you this and I can do that. And it was, it's just a place where you can do and be and whoever you want to be. We talked about past experience. We shape-shifted into wolves and ran through the woods together and actually feeling like you're a wolf. I could smell, taste, I could feel my paws, and I could smell my mate as we ran through the forest together. And that was a really bonding experience. We met each other's families there. We got married. We had hand binding ceremonies. We really enjoyed doing that. Yeah. So 7 months on, we still occasionally visit this place. At the time, we did it religiously, and we showed each other what we'd been doing since our souls had been apart, things that we'd learned, and now that we were back in contact, we were sharing it with each other. Between the two of us, we've both got very strong telepathy. We can read each other's minds. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger. We can speak to each other in our minds. We do that every day. Some days we do it all day long. I have a sensation every now and again that I just want to turn it off and I don't want to be hearing what's going on, and I find it quite confronting. You can't turn it off, you just hear what's going on. You talk to each other. We do that every day, and it's getting stronger and stronger. I can now hear conversations he has with other people, conversations that he's having that don't include me. It just reminds me of like real life twins, how they've got that really special bond. They sort of know what each other is doing. I find that with twin flames. You know, being able to read each other's minds. We have a very special gift to be able to do that with each other. We have a routine between us that at the end of the day we go to bed and discuss what's been going on for the day, and it can be quite a chat. You know, we're dealing with how people around us are coping with us being twins, and you know, all we want to do is spread love and understanding and peace. And it can be quite confronting, the relationship. It's very different. So we just talk about that. We can also physically touch each other. During like a Kundalini awakening, we would be intimate all night in the 5D. There was a lot of sexual contact between us, no limits to that. As wild as your imagination can imagine. Many connections between us. We brought up past connections as well, burnt off past sexual relationships, experience. You know, if we've ever had any kind of abuse, we showed it to each other. We just loved each other through it. It was a very strong bonding time between us. It was like surrendering and confessing to each other and loving each other through it. It can also be very uncomfortable at times. You're seeing things that you can't look away from. I think tell people just to go along with it, just accept it, just feel it, experience it. Just allow yourself to feel it, even if it's painful at times. Just open your heart to it. Try to learn from it. It was so confronting at times, being just an open book to your twin, opening your soul and seeing everything. This is a stage I think a lot of people run because it is just so confronting. The major reasons why I wanted to do this YouTube video was to explain our runner chaser stage, to try to help others. Generally, it's the hardest stage for people to go through. It's the most painful and it hurts so much, and you feel sometimes like you can't get out of it. So painful for people. It's painful for me. After we met, after a little while, I started being the runner. I ran fairly quickly and fairly hard after we'd got to know each other fairly well. I got to know sort of what he was like. It was a short experience. I ran for about 2 months. It was very painful. I felt completely overwhelmed with self-hate. I was hating myself, my body, my personality, my body, my life. And after experiencing such a mind-blowing love, I quickly just thought about it, and I was just like, what's happening to me? And I had this awful self-hate. I just had this overwhelming feeling that I just had to stop contact with him to save myself from his possible rejection of me, which I felt like I would die if he rejected me. It's completely irrational. I felt like I had to get in and run as fast as I could first. I was so scared that this massive rejection was coming. It was going to happen, and I was like terrified of it. I wanted to run before he rejected me. I felt like I was going to die if he rejected me, so running, I felt like I had some power over it. If I ran first, at least I was doing something and not just waiting for something bad to happen. I ran, and I made up my mind that I would cut contact and I would never see him again. I deleted all his contact details, planned to never see him again. It was because I just felt so unworthy of his friendship and his love. It was all about me, nothing to do with him. He'd not done anything to trigger this. He'd just been especially nice to me. And I was like, I just remember feeling that he could see right inside my soul. And irrationally, I thought, oh, maybe he'll see a bad person I am. And I decided if I ran, I would save myself from any heartbreak. I stopped seeing him, and I wrote this 10-page list of all his negative points. I was trying to convince myself that he was so wrong for me, and that I could change my mind if I just focused on all the negative things about him. I'd stop wanting him so much. And that feeling was so strong of wanting him. So to try to give some advice to people, what helped me change my negative feelings was when I allowed myself just to feel the pain. I felt all the self-hate. I suggest that you just go meditate, journal, allow yourself just to cry and feel all those emotions that are flooding in. I remember thinking, why would God give me someone so special, so beautiful, that I would be so scared of them even facing them, that I ran from the experience. Why would I be so scared to even talk to him? It just made no sense to me. So I started thinking about it, well, what's going on here? And I was questioning how I was thinking and processing this experience and my actions. And I just sort of worked out that my fears were irrational. So my belief in our strong connection and reading about twin flames made me turn towards him instead of running away from him. And what changed was my love took over from my fear. So I looked at it as sort of like a running race, and I'm a competitive person, so I thought, I'm going to win this race. So I ran towards him instead of away from him. I went through a lot of body image issues, which I know is fairly common, feeling that I'm not good enough for him. Past personal issues all rose up. And I felt at the time I had to take quite dramatic action. So I went on a 3-day vision quest to face all my self-doubt, self-hate, and journaling, getting back to nature, meditation, and getting away from it all was a good idea because it was so overwhelming. And I wanted a fresh environment, and I didn't want anything to remind me of him. So when I came back from my vision quest, I wasn't a runner anymore. And then he ran after we met up. So I started to chase him. So I have been a runner and a chaser. I felt this intense pain that he was actually feeling when he ran, and I became the chaser. I didn't allow this behaviour to go on for very long. I'd read about it and understood that the worst thing you can do is chase, and contact. So I sent just one email explaining to him, I think we're twin flames. This is what stage I think we're both in. And that I really believe that he was my twin flame, just left it at that. So I had a few weeks of being a chaser, but was able to keep my chasing feelings to myself. I did not sort of see the need to message a lot, and I recommend that to other people. Just stop contacting, give the person their space. Write in a journal, paint a picture. Don't run, don't chase them because it makes them run even more. Do the work on yourself. Do any kind of self-healing you can do. It doesn't matter really what it is, just get started. My twin and I regularly saw each other, so I think that helped a lot because we had that sort of love feeling and that physical contact. And we worked through our contact after the physical meet-up. It took a few months, we really missed each other, but we knew it was sort of not the right time, so we spent a lot of time apart, then come back together. We'd have this lovely bonding experience, and then we'd have 1 or 2 weeks without contact, which allowed us to work on our personal issues, changes in our emotional bodies, raising up levels and vibrations. I found reading about twin flames and watching the YouTube videos very useful. I remembering back how painful it was in this stage. It seemed to go on forever, and I never thought I was never going to get over it. I was thinking very negatively about my twin. It can make you feel like you're going crazy, talk to yourself, strong emotional pain. You can feel very ugly within yourself and unlovable. It's really horrible. I spent days and weeks of reading books. I was on holidays from work, so I could just focus on it 12 hours a day, and I would just absorb myself in this experience, reading about it, trying to educate myself on it. I got really angry. I cried a bucket of tears. I was really angry that he changed my life by meeting him. Like, I was really happy beforehand, and then my whole life had turned upside down and gone to shit, and I was really wanting to get off this ride and just not have this experience. So I stomped my feet and I had a tantrum, and I'd wished I'd never met him, and I didn't want to be a twin flame. Why is it so difficult? Why is it so painful? Can I get off this ride? So I've been there and I've done that. And try not to obsess about your twin. Just do anything else. I don't care what it is. You can see behind me this painting. I did this painting while I was going through this stage. I read that doing something artistic helps you. So it's based on someone else's painting, but I did it from memory. And I'm not an artist. This is only the second painting I've ever painted in my life. You don't have to be the best painter, singer, dancer, whatever. Just do something artistic. Do something creative. It just helps you get your mind off your twin. But it does make you feel like you're going completely nuts, this whole experience. So this is the end of part 1. I split it in 2 because it's so long. It's been 20 minutes now. I've got a lot to say. I will let you move into the next video. On the bottom of this YouTube video, I'm going to add my Facebook group, and you can join that. I hope you move on and watch part 2. Thank you for watching.